Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome back to our learning of Pirkei Avot, of sagely wisdom, of lifelong lessons that have lasted throughout the generations to teach us how to live a better life. So today's Mishnah is all about relationships. It tells us how we should go about attaining the appropriate relationships and wisdom. So let's just jump right in. Yoshua ben Parachia then Nitai Ha'arbeli Kipu Mehem. So we're moving on to the next generation of sages. Yoshua ben Parachia Omer. That Joshua, the son of Parachia, used to say that you should appoint for yourself, make for yourself a teacher, acquire for yourself a friend, and judge all with the benefit of the doubt, that you should judge everyone favorably. So we're going to break down all of these, and now we're also going to try and understand why making a teacher for yourself, acquiring a friend for yourself is very much relationship oriented. How we're going to tie in this judging others favorably as being relationships, because everything within the Mishnah has to relate to one another. So that's what we're going to work on today. But let's just start breaking it down. That you should make for yourself a teacher. So this concept, which happens to be lost a lot today because people have such an overwhelming sense of confidence, but if you have a teacher that you constantly go to, this person is going to teach you humility. Even more so the Gemara in Avot Zarah, while we learn elsewhere in Pirkei Avot in this very book that we're going to, that the best way to acquire knowledge is learning from everyone. The Gemara in Avot Zarah, the Talmud, our oral tradition, says that you should really have a Rebbe. You should have one person that you can go to and becomes a guide for you, becomes a teacher that you can always call, that gives you a good track record. Rav Chaim Soloveitchik said on the flip side, while a book can teach you what to say, a Rebbe teaches you what not to say. They provide that complete different perspective and can give you so much more insight into what you're learning. And on that, the Rashbam even says that before coming to a decision, you should always consult your Rebbe. When you consult your teacher, they're going to give you guidance and provide that extra perspective, but they're also going to provide clarity and confidence for you to go forward. It's not just that you're reading it from a book, but giving you the full understanding. Okay, so that is acquiring a teacher. I highly recommend it, and it'll make your life a lot better in so many ways. And now we're talking about acquiring a friend. So why is it that we didn't use the same language of make for yourself, or that you should have a friend, but it says acquire? It uses the language of buying. So what does that mean? So Rav says that even if it costs you financially to continue that relationship and to grow that relationship, that is certainly par for the course and worth it in having a friend, because the Talmud in Tanis says, in Ta'anit, to discuss different fasts, but the oral tradition there says that to have this friend, not just a friend, but somebody that you learn with, that helps you grow. They say chavruta o misusa, that you have this friend or you're gonna acquire death. That it's that a friend enhances your life in so many ways, and they give you a lot of reasons to live, and they make your life so much better. So one has to put in a lot of effort of building those relationships, and in the relationship, the friend's work will make you happier, and it's going to make you better, and that's why it's worth investing in. That's why it's worth buying. On a separate note, the Rashbam, who quoted before, says a good friend will serve three different functions that make you better. So on the one hand, they should also be your chavruta. You should also learn with them and learn different ideas and values in Torah. The second is that they don't mind, because you've established such a nice level of friendship, they won't mind giving you criticism, and they're going to be honest with you and have your best interests in mind, and they're actually going to naturally care about you. The average person that you work with, that you see on the street, doesn't know you well enough. They're not in a position necessarily to give you criticism or constructive criticism. And third, that they'll give you advice and be discreet. They will take your secrets to the grave with them because they genuinely care about you. They have everything to lose, and if they end up violating your trust, that relationship will erode away, as the Tiferes Yisrael explains. So this isn't just for the sake of having a good friend that keeps you in check, but they're talking about a friend you can learn with, a friend you can grow with. As the saying goes, a fire is not lit by one stone alone, but with two stones. That you need two people to really grow. and that applies to learning and really every component in life. And lastly, that you should judge everyone favorably, that you should give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So how are we really reconciling this, and how does it pertain to relationships? So Rashi says, if on the most basic level, when you judge someone favorably, you yourself will be judged favorably, right? So it's in your best interest to judge others favorably. Also, just on a psychological level, psychology today will tell you that seeing people in a positive manner will make you happier. If you try and see the good in people, it only makes those relationships better. And on the practical level, if you see a righteous person doing something that's arguably bad or undeniably bad, that you should try and see it through a positive lens, that you should work very hard. So you shouldn't cast aspersions on that person. And you should only judge when you have relationships with people, those people, you should only judge in the best way, because as we were saying before, you don't want those relationships to go away. You really want to build it, and it plays into our relationships every day, that we can choose how we see people, and that's entirely a choice that we should make every day. Wishing you an amazing day. God willing, we will continue learning tomorrow.